Have you ever felt anxious about the prospect of moving forward into marriage after turning 60? That feeling touches on the deep need for safety and belonging as we long for both peace of mind and peace of heart. Welcome to Elderly Wisdom Stories, a channel that shares life experiences for mature individuals who want to enjoy a fulfilling life. In today's video, John Anderson will explore with you why remarriage in later years is so different from marriage in our youth. And don't rush off, because I promise that by the end of this video, you'll have 5 essential truths in hand to make a wise decision and avoid unnecessary suffering. Whether you're considering remarriage or just curious about the possibility, the practical experiences that will be shared soon will help you foresee potential pitfalls. Before we dive into the main content, leave a comment and let me know. What worries you most when thinking about remarriage after 60? Sharing your thoughts will help our community understand and support each other better. If you want to continue receiving valuable lessons for your golden years journey, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell now. After understanding the importance of careful consideration before remarriage at 60 plus, let's dive into the first truth, the financial reality after 60. First, you need to understand that marriage is not just an emotional commitment, it is also a legal contract that affects your assets and income. When you get married, even if you already have a retirement savings account or a stable pension, joining together will turn everything into joint property according to inheritance and asset division laws in most states or regions. Next, one of the biggest consequences that many people don't anticipate is the redistribution of Social Security benefits. According to the U.S. Social Security Administration, if you're receiving benefits based on your former spouse's record, for example, if you are a widow or widower, remarriage may cause that benefit to be interrupted or terminated. This is especially shocking if you've relied on that income to maintain your current lifestyle. Moreover, private pensions and beneficiary rights are also subject to change. Many retirement funds or corporate pension programs stipulate that when a beneficiary remarries, the new spouse will have a claim to part or all of the remaining funds in the plan. For example, Mr. John, 72 years old, shared, "I thought my pension was mine, but when I remarried, the pension fund required me to share a portion based on their established rate. It was a real surprise, and I had to adjust my spending plan. Not only that, but marriage also affects wills and inheritance rights. According to the inheritance laws of many countries, a legal spouse is entitled to a portion of the assets before children or other heirs. Therefore, if you've drafted a will to leave everything to your children upon remarriage, your inheritance might be reduced unless you update your will promptly. Additionally, there are other costs, such as health insurance, life insurance, and asset transfer taxes. When 2 people live together, insurance companies may require a reassessment of the insurance package, and health insurance premiums and benefits may change, especially if the new spouse is in their 60s and has a medical history. So, how should you prepare? John Anderson advises, 1. Consult a financial advisor. Schedule a meeting with a financial expert as soon as possible to reassess your income, retirement funds, and insurance benefits. And this will help you understand how much your benefits may decrease and how to compensate through other investments or savings. 2. Consult a marriage and estate lawyer. Before officially joining together, draft a prenuptial agreement, medical powers of attorney, and update your will, establishing a trust if necessary. This ensures your assets are divided according to your wishes, preventing complicated disputes later on. 3. Reevaluate your estate plan. After remarriage, update your will, life insurance beneficiary list, and trust funds to reflect your true wishes. Don't let an outdated will act as your shield for inheritance, as legal rights may have changed. 4. Be transparent with children. Have open discussions with your children about financial plans in your estate. Transparency not only reduces financial anxiety, but also strengthens trust and avoids family conflicts. Finally, remember that remarriage after 60 can be the most beautiful phase when both of you are financially stable and have more freedom. But that's why understanding your financial reality is the foundation for enjoying your new marriage with peace of mind and confidence in the future. If you're considering remarriage, don't wait until it's too late to face the bitter truth. Prepare today to secure your finances, enjoy your retirement benefits, and protect your estate wisely. After understanding the financial implications of remarriage after 60, let's move on to the second truth. Family dynamics can become complicated. Remarriage isn't just about connecting two individuals, it's a blend, merging two families with their histories, responsibilities, traditions, and legacies. First, according to data from the U.S. Panel Study of Income Dynamics, the time spent with children and family bonding depends heavily on family structure. Step families often spend less time with children who are not biologically related compared to biological families. This indicates that in a blended family, the relationship with adult children may be weaker if there are no shared children to bond the couple. Moreover, when you remarry at 60 plus, you likely already have grown children and even grandchildren. Some of your children may have become accustomed to the old family traditions, from holidays to Sunday dinners, and the sudden introduction of a new person can make many feel as though their home is changing. The American Psychological Association statistics show that conflicts in blended families are not necessarily due to greed, but stem from the fear of being replaced and the concern that the legacy may no longer go as originally planned. Susan's 68 story is a perfect example. After losing her husband, she remarried a man of the same age, but when discussing her legacy and maintaining family traditions, she realized her son and daughter-in-law were concerned. Will this land be shared with Mom's new husband, or will we still gather for New Year's Eve like we used to? To ease the tension, Susan proactively initiated conversations from the will to family customs, explaining who would receive what and how she planned to keep the traditions intact. As a result, the family atmosphere gradually returned to harmony. It's not just children. Relationships with the new spouse's family also require time to adapt. They may want to maintain their traditions, from memorial ceremonies to weekend shared cooking habits, and you need to listen patiently, be transparent about your financial plans, and respect cultural beliefs to help both sides feel respected. To manage these complex family dynamics, John Anderson advises, 1. Be proactive in listening. Before moving in together or celebrating shared events, sit down with both your children and family members on each side. Ask about their views, concerns, and desires. This will not only reduce resistance, but also provide valuable information to adjust your plans accordingly. 2. Be transparent with your financial plans and traditions. If you have significant assets or special customs, prepare a draft will and a description of your family traditions. Share these drafts with your children and relatives for review and feedback. Transparency helps reduce misunderstandings and reassures your biological children that they are not being forgotten. 3. Build the relationship step by step. Don't force the first meeting to be perfect. Instead, start with simple activities, family meals, weekend outings, or shared games, so both sides can gradually get to know each other and build trust. 4. Understand that conflict is normal. Research shows that conflicts in blended families do not necessarily reflect long-term negativity, but are often a sign of the adjustment process and setting new boundaries. When you and your children understand this, handling conflicts will be much more effective. Finally, don't forget the most important task. Affirm your love and commitment not only to your new spouse, but also to the family you've built over the years. When both sides of the family feel heard, respected, and loved, your new home will truly become a warm nest that spreads happiness to everyone. If you're considering remarriage and concerned about family dynamics, share your thoughts in the comments. What are you most afraid of when the two sides of the family clash over traditions? Your story might help others find solutions early. Continuing from understanding the financial implications and family dynamics, let's move on to emotional expectations, which change with age. First, after 60, marriage is no longer centered around building a career, raising children, or accumulating wealth. Instead, the primary focus shifts to maintaining independence while sharing everyday moments with your partner. This means that each person in the couple has already established their habits, living spaces and lifestyle, from waking up early, reading habits, to hobbies like strolling or gathering with friends. Moreover, science confirms that the size and form of romantic relationships in later life are changing significantly. According to the latest research on the living apart together model in individuals over 60, couples who maintain separate living spaces tend to have better mental health because they preserve their sense of autonomy and reduce conflicts in daily life. A practical example from Mr. Harold, 75, highlights this change. After the passing of his first wife, Harold found new love with Mrs. Elaine, an independent woman who enjoyed traveling and spending time on her hobbies. Initially, Harold faced challenges when his second wife didn't want to share a room regularly or go grocery shopping every weekend like before. However, with flexibility and respect, they agreed. Harold would spend his mornings in the garden and at the book club, while in the afternoon, they would enjoy tea and conversation together. This arrangement allowed both of them to feel personally free while also maintaining an emotional connection rather than being burdened by traditional expectations. It's also important to ask yourself, how much time do you need together and how much space do you need for yourself to maintain the feeling of, I'm still me? In reality, many people who remarry later in life often forget this need, leading to conflicts when one partner wants to engage in joint activities, while the other needs time alone. Therefore, John Anderson recommends the following 3 steps. 1. Identify personal needs. Sit down and ask yourself, how many hours per week do you need to enjoy your hobbies, meet friends, or simply have quiet time alone? Write down the specific number and share it with your partner. 2. Discuss clear expectations. Before remarriage, have an open conversation about how much shared time you both want, whether you want to maintain traditional rituals, and what to do if personal schedules clash. 3. Set up an emotional agreement. Just like a financial agreement, you can write down what you've agreed upon. For example, which days are for personal time, family time, or prioritized couple time. This isn't a legally binding contract, but it helps reduce misunderstandings and promotes mutual respect. Finally, remember, when you're in your 60s plus, maintaining your independent identity is the foundation for a strong and enduring connection. You don't need to turn your marriage into a model of the past, but instead feel secure and cherish each moment of sharing. Start today. Spend 10 minutes writing down your need for personal time and discuss it with your partner. When both people feel heard and respected, love will not just be a choice, but a source of energy that nurtures 2 independent souls, yet beats in unison. After carefully considering emotional needs and personal space in late-life marriage, the next crucial step is understanding the legal issues that play an equally significant role as love. When remarrying after 60, you're not only making a commitment in front of your partner, but also signing a legal contract that directly impacts your will, inheritance rights, and even important future medical decisions. First, let's look at the aspect of wills and inheritance. Many people mistakenly assume that their will remains valid after remarriage. But in reality, when you marry, your legal spouse is often given priority to inherit part of your assets, even before your biological children. If you intend to leave your estate to your children and grandchildren, failing to update your will after remarriage could lead to your wishes being disrupted. Next, medical decision-making rights, medical power of attorney, are also essential. In the event of severe illness or incapacitation, the legal spouse typically has the authority to make decisions on your behalf regarding surgery, treatment, or nursing care. If you wish to delegate this responsibility to your children or another relative, you'll need to prepare an advance health care directive and have it legally authenticated. Additionally, prenuptial agreements are becoming an increasingly popular tool for many 60-plus couples. According to a survey by the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, the number of prenuptial agreements among individuals over 50 has increased by 25% over the past 5 years. The reasons are clear. To protect personal assets accumulated over a lifetime. To ensure that the rights of children from a previous marriage are not affected. To minimize disputes in the event of divorce or death. For instance, Eleanor, 67, spent 3 months working with a family lawyer to draft a detailed prenuptial agreement. As a result, she retained ownership of her house and stock investments and explicitly stated that the inheritance fund for her 3 sons would not be shared with her new spouse. The outcome was that her children felt completely at ease, and she entered her second marriage with peace of mind, free from fears of losing her assets. Additionally, you may want to consider setting up a trust if you have significant assets or special purposes, such as grandchild tuition fees or charitable donations. A trust allows you to manage your assets more flexibly and reduces the risk of assets being divided according to civil law. So, to protect your future and ensure peace of mind, John Anderson recommends the following. 1. Work with a marriage and estate lawyer. Choose a lawyer who specializes in older clients for personalized advice and understanding of local laws. 2. Update or create a new will. After remarriage, review your old will and either create a new one or amend it to reflect your current wishes. 3. Prepare a prenuptial agreement. Even if you fully trust your spouse, this document helps minimize misunderstandings and protect both parties. Draft a medical power of attorney and property management authorization. Ensure that when you cannot make decisions for yourself, the person you trust most will have the legal authority to do so. 5. Set up a trust if necessary, especially helpful for large estates or complex inheritance plans. Finally, don't let legal factors become a nightmare for your late life happiness. By preparing thoroughly today, you will be able to enter your new marriage with a peaceful heart and a solid legal foundation, safeguarding your interests, your loved ones, and future generations. After carefully preparing financially, with family considerations and legal matters addressed, let's now move to the final truth. The definition of happiness changes with age. First, when we are younger, we often view marriage as a springboard for our career, a place to welcome new members and to build a home from scratch. However, at 60 plus, these priorities take a back seat, making room for maintaining and harvesting the happiness we've already built, preserving independence while sharing precious moments, continuing long-standing habits, and respecting each person's rhythm. Furthermore, a study from the Psychology and Aging Journal shows that after 60, happiness is more closely tied to a sense of autonomy and meaningful connections rather than external goals like income or fame. This indicates that your definition of happiness at this stage is no longer about how much wealth you have or who is born into your family, but about whether you have enough space to be yourself while sharing life with your partner. So, the question for you now is, what is happiness to you right now? Is it waking up together with excitement, or is it sometimes having a separate space to do what you love? Do you want to live together under one roof or maintain a certain distance to preserve personal habits? Is sharing space a joy, or does keeping separate households help you feel more comfortable? An example from Frank, 72, clearly illustrates this. After remarrying Linda, they quickly realized their 2 different lifestyles. Linda was eager to visit friends and explore new places every month, while Frank found his happiness in staying at their familiar home, tending to the garden with a few books on the porch. Initially, they had small arguments. Linda felt disappointed when Frank wasn't interested in going with her, and Frank became stressed when forced to join the tours. However, through open communication and a willingness to compromise, they found a solution. Every quarter, they scheduled a short road trip so Linda could indulge her passion for exploration, while Frank spent most of his time in the garden. As a result, both felt fully content. Linda didn't have to hesitate, and Frank still had his beloved space. Furthermore, defining your core values is also crucial. It could be peace, a sense of security, or creative motivation. When you and your new partner align on these values, you can easily build shared joy without sacrificing too much of your individuality. Finally, remember that happiness at 60 plus is not about living together all the time or committing like you did in your 20s, but finding a balance between independence and connection. When you and your partner understand this, late life marriage not only brings fulfillment, but also becomes proof of a love that has matured and strengthened over the years. So together with John Anderson, we've walked through the 5 essential truths to consider before deciding to remarry after 60, from financial implications, family dynamics, emotional expectations, to legal factors and the new definition of happiness. These real-life insights not only help you visualize the bigger picture, but also encourage everyone to take the time to consult financial advisors, lawyers, and openly discuss matters with children and loved ones. Remember that the decision to remarry is yours and yours alone, and only you truly understand the value, dreams, and lifestyle you've built throughout your life. Taking a careful approach, considering all aspects, financial, family, emotional, legal, and personal happiness, will lead to a second marriage that is both fulfilling and lasting. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the Elderly Wisdom Stories channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on future content. In the meantime, we'd love to hear more of your questions, concerns, or experiences about remarriage after 60. Leave a comment below. Your insights may light the way for others. Thank you for joining us, and we wish you always find joy, peace, and true love in every step of your life's journey.